Sean Diddy Combs denied bail once again, even after his ex-girlfriend Gina Huynh pleaded with the federal judge to set him free. Well, it didn't matter. The judge rejected the bail request, and Diddy will stay locked up until his sentencing on October 3rd. Here to help us understand what happened, former federal prosecutor and president of West Coast Trial Lawyers, Neama Rahmani. Did the judge's decision to deny bail surprise you?
Anita, it did surprise me because I think Sean Diddy Combs should be released pending sentencing, which will happen in October. And I don't think he's a good person. I think he's a terrible human being, and he was violent, admittedly, towards Cassie and others. But if you believe in our jury system, and I do, the jury has spoken, and he has been acquitted outright of the most serious crimes, including sex trafficking and racketeering. And he's only been convicted of prostitution. I think the just result, now that the jury has spoken, is for him to be released and to be sentenced to time served or something close to it.
The judge had these letters that were sent in by Diddy's alleged victims. So, I mean, you think it's wrong that the judge took these letters into consideration?
I think it's wrong because, again, the jury did not believe the victims. They found that the government had not proven its case beyond a reasonable doubt. So now you're really stuck with just prostitution, and really simple prostitution. We're not talking about minors. We're not talking about any violence. It's the payment of money for a sex act. And that happens every single day in this country. I'm not saying it should be legal, even though it is legal in some parts of the country, but it is not a serious crime that he has been convicted of. So for the prosecution to try to keep him in custody and to sentence him to a multi-year prison sentence strikes me as sour grapes. If you are an assistant U.S. attorney, you're not supposed to just think about wins and losses. It's about pursuing justice. And this is our system. And the government lost, even though they got convictions on these 2 counts. To me, this was a big loss for the Department of Justice. They need to take the loss and they need to move on.
So this letter that Gina wrote in 2019, Gina went on a podcast and she did this interview with Tasha K and talked about this horrific abuse she alleged that Diddy had done to her. Now all of a sudden, this letter says, "I don't think he's a danger to me or anyone else." What do you believe? And do you think this letter actually hurt Diddy's case?
I think that the letter or Gina not showing up certainly hurt the prosecution case. She was one of the victims in the case, and she flipped to the defense side. And this is something you need to anticipate if you are a prosecutor. Diddy has almost unlimited money. I'm not saying he did this, but he has the means to pay off any of these victims. Make the problem go away. Spend tens of millions of dollars. That's a drop in the bucket for him. So he can pay the victims, right? Either through a bribe or through a civil settlement. Again, I'm not making any accusations, but this is the reality and a possibility you have to anticipate if you're a prosecutor.
All right. Well, I'm going to say having Gina write this letter was a mistake. And honestly, I watched this interview that she did with Tasha K, and she struggled to communicate, and yet this letter was eloquent. So my question is, who wrote the letter? But we will leave it at that. So I have one more question. Nicole Westmoreland, one of the defense attorneys, just went on CNN, and she mentioned that there have been talks with the Trump administration. She confirmed that about a possible pardon. So in your opinion, is that a pipe dream, or is that something that you think could really happen?
Yeah, it's very possible. I was actually on CNN as well when Rolling Stone broke the news that Diddy's team during the trial, early on in the trial, was talking to the Trump administration and the president about a possible pardon. At the time, I didn't think that it was going to happen because of the very serious nature of the charges. But now, I think it's a very real possibility because I think Donald Trump may think that Sean Diddy Combs is being treated unfairly by the Department of Justice. And given the nature of the convictions, just prostitution, the fact that he served almost time, I think whether Diddy gets pardoned or whether he gets time served, I don't think that's going to be a miscarriage of justice at this point. So I think the pardon is a very real possibility if Subramanian sentences him to significant time come early October.
All right, Neama Rahmani, former federal prosecutor, and now West Coast trial attorneys here in Los Angeles. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Anita. Talk to you soon.
Okay.